War has rules. They aren't written down. Nobody teaches them in a classroom. They are carved into the dirt by the bodies of men who learned them a moment too late. One of those rules? You do not attack a fortified bunker with anything short of artillery, because bunkers don't fear rifles. Bunkers don't care how brave you are. Inside that thick concrete and coral, the enemy is calm, protected, reloading. You are just a moving target in a jungle that wants to bury you. Command insists there are proper weapons for that job. Flamethrowers, mortars, demolition charges, maybe a bazooka if one survived the surf and sand without jamming. Improvisation? That's suicide. A foolish trick played by men desperate not to die. And on a blistering Pacific island in 1944, every Marine clung to that belief like it was the only safety they had left. But war is a way of pushing men past the rules, past the fear, past the limits of imagination. And that is when history changes forever. The place no map warned you about. The briefing said small enemy presence. 2 days later, 37 Marines were dead trying to take a single ridge. Japanese engineers had carved bunkers into the coral like termite hives. Layered firing ports, overlapping fields of fire, escaped tunnels behind every nest. Every movement up that hill triggered a response. Machine guns, mortars, grenades tossed from unseen crevices. Marines would crawl 5 yards and get shot from 2 directions at once. Progress was measured in bodies, not ground. Already, the platoon had burned through precious flamethrower fuel trying to clear just one bunker. The hoses were empty. The tank sat useless and steaming in the sun. Everyone felt the same sick truth. We can't stay here, and we can't go forward either. The man with the wrong talents. Private Sam Dawson didn't stand out. He wasn't the strongest. He wasn't the fastest. He wasn't the loudest Marine in the squad. But back home in Ohio, he could take apart a tractor engine blindfolded. He knew pressure valves better than school math. He welded metal like he was born with sparks in his hands. His father once told him, "There's no such thing as useless scrap, just a tool waiting for purpose." When Sam enlisted, the Corps trained him the same way everyone else was trained. Shoot straight. Follow orders. Don't get clever. But the Pacific doesn't care about rules. And today, the Pacific had run out of solutions. The breaking point. The lieutenant tried one more push. Just one more. Grenades out front. Move! Sam and the others crawled forward, mud filling their uniforms, mosquitoes biting through sweat and skin, only to be greeted by the same merciless sound. Chatter, chatter, chatter. Machine guns ripped the vines overhead, exploding leaves into confetti. 2 Marines were hit instantly, one dead before he fell, the other screaming into the date. Everyone dove back behind the log line, breathing too fast, eyes too wide, hands shaking on empty canteens. The lieutenant's voice cracked. "We're stuck. We're bleeding out. We need that bunker gone." But no one volunteered, because no one wanted to die with a grenade in their hand, slamming uselessly against concrete. Sam listened to the firefight, every bullet slamming into the earth like a hammer against a coffin lid. There were no flamethrowers left, no mortars in range, just junk, scrap, refuse, unless it wasn't. The idea nobody asked for. Sam crawled back to the supply pile, that graveyard of broken Marine gear, bent rifles, shattered scopes, pipes from equipment no one had time to repair. The sergeant spotted him. "Dawson, get your ass back in the line. You'll get picked off back there." Sam ignored him. The rule was dead the moment this ridge stopped moving. He found a short length of pipe, just wide enough, just thick enough. He pressed it against the muzzle of his M1 rifle. It fit, tight. His hands shook, but from adrenaline, not doubt. Rodriguez crawled over, eyes wide. "You are not doing what I think you're doing." Sam didn't look up. "If we can't throw a grenade into that bunker, we'll just have to fire one." Rodriguez blinked, then laughed once, a short, nervous burst. "You're insane." Sam finally stayed back. "No, I'm useful." The first shot, he jammed the grenade down the pipe. Pin pulled, handle pressed tight behind the lip of the tube. One wrong jolt and the whole squad evaporates. He crawled back, every muscle screaming to turn around. But he didn't. The bunker spat fire, traces slicing air, searching for a heart to puncture. Sam leveled the rifle, cheek pressed to battered wood, breath locked in his chest. For the first time, the Japanese inside that bunker saw something they didn't understand. A Marine, taking aim, not with a rifle, but with a problem they could not comprehend. Sam squeezed the trigger, and the world held its breath. There is a moment, right after you invent something no one believes in, when the universe decides if you're brilliant or dead. For Sam Dawson, that moment just launched out of his rifle, and the blast that followed would rewrite everything the Marines thought they knew about this war. The rifle kicks, the pipe jumps, the grenade wobbles into the air like an idea not yet fully born. Sam doesn't blink, can't blink. Every Marine watches that single piece of metal arc toward the darkness inside the bunker. For a heartbeat, nothing. Then the earth erupts. Boom-boom. The bunker's firing slit spits fire, smoke, sandbags bursting outward, metal shrieking as it tears open. Birds scatter from the trees. The roar rolls through the jungle like thunder with teeth. For the first time in hours, the machine guns are silent. Sam lowers a rifle. He feels his heart pounding against his ribs like it wants to escape. Rodriguez grabs him by the shoulders, somewhere between panic and disbelief. You actually... The sergeant approaches like he's staring at a ghost holding a gun. What the hell did you just do, Dawson? Sam swallows hard. Broke the rules, Sergeant. The change. Back home, if he fixed a gear wrong, a machine stalled. Hey, if he misjudges one angle, one fuse, one breath, men die. Yet the mood shifts. Tension bleeds out of the line. A few Marines even cheer. Not loudly, that might draw fire, but enough that hope sparks again. Then a crack of a bullet slaps the tree next to Sam's head. Japanese rifles open up from deeper positions. The cheering stops. The lieutenant drops beside them, panting. You can do that again. Sam looks down at his makeshift launcher. The pipe is warped. Fragments of the grenade's base still smolder inside. He could stop now. He should stop now. But then he hears a wounded behind him. A young Marine with a tourniquet wrapped so tight his leg is turning gray. A corpsman whispering prayers under his breath. The ridge won't take itself. Sam nods once. I'll make a better one. The built-in secret of underdogs. Improvisers live in chaos. They think where others freeze. Sam crawls back to the scrap pile again, now under far more enemy fire. He finds a thicker, sturdier pipe, a broken clamp, salvageable, a discarded radio spring, strips of cloth and leather, the guts of a busted rifle cartridge. Rodriguez shouts over the gunfire. Dawson, this is insane. Sam's eyes stay locked on the metal in his hands. So he's sitting here waiting to die. He works fast, faster than fear. Hands moving with muscle memory learned under tractors, not machine guns. Sparks of creativity cutting through a rain of bullets. The battle keeps moving. The Japanese aren't stupid. They saw what happened. They heard what happened. And now, they adjust. Grenade launchers, even improvised ones, terrify defenders in tight spaces. A new bunker begins firing, further up the slope. Two interconnected firing ports hammering down a curtain of lead. The lieutenant peeks through binoculars. That one's deeper. Reinforced. You won't punch through the front. Sam glances up the hill. Sandbag fortified with coral rock and concrete. He secures the pipe, using the strap like a harness over the M1's barrel. He pats aside. Solid enough. Rodriguez gives a nervous chuckle. I can't believe we're depending on the garage mechanic for survival. Sam actually smiles. A thin, deadly thing. Yeah, me neither. The second miracle. They advance in short bursts. Mud splashing, hearts drumming. Sam finds a rock for cover. Lines up the shot. Thump. Another grenade launched. It zips into the bunker's slit. A perfect strike. K.A. boom. Debris rains down the slope. Screams rise from inside. Then, silence. The kind of silence that feels scared. The lieutenant grabs Sam's arm, not to pull him back, but to steady his own shaking. You may have just saved this platoon. Sam doesn't look at him. He's staring at the next bunker. When innovation paints a target on your back, for a moment, the jungle goes eerily calm. Too calm. Then, a single rifle cracks from high up the ridge. A bullet punches straight through the strap of Sam's helmet, lifting it clean from his head. He hits the dirt, hard, gasping. The sniper wasn't shooting at any Marine. He was shooting at the Marine, the one carrying something the Japanese hadn't accounted for. Rodriguez dragged Sam behind cover. They are coming for you now. And is right. Every time Sam reloads, every time he moves, the sniper's bullet snaps closer. Improvisers terrify the enemy, because you can't predict a man who invents his next move. The third bunker, designed to survive everything. This one is different, bigger, dug deeper into the ridge. Twin ports, crossfire coverage, reinforced slit with angled interior. Grenades bounce out. It's not just resisting explosions. It's built to eat them and spit bullets back. The sergeant spits dirt from his mouth. That thing's a monster. You ain't hitting that slit. Sam studies it. No, that shot won't work. But there's something else. A small square at the bunker's top. A vent chute for smoke to escape. Rodriguez sees where he's looking. You can't be serious. Sam whispers. That's the only way in. This shot is not supposed to work. Sam steadies himself. He grips the rifle tight, adjusts the angle almost vertical. If it's wrong, the grenade will fall straight back at them. The lieutenant doesn't command him, doesn't pressure him. He simply says, "We trust you." Sam squeezes a trigger. Thump. The grenade launches, straight up, into thick leaves and choking sunlight. It disappears. 1 second. 2. 3. Rodriguez mutters a prayer under his breath. Then, page, crash. The bunker's roof collapses inward, metal twisting, concrete shattering, earth vomiting smoke and dust into the sky. The explosion echoes through the ridge. Gunfire stops. Japanese soldiers, stunned into silence. Sam Dawson has just accomplished what mortars, flamethrowers, and rifles could not. He broke the rule. And he lived. The men who now believe. The Marines don't cheer too loudly. That sniper is still hunting him. But the looks they give Sam, those looks say everything. He is no longer the garage mechanic. He is the man who gave them a way forward. The lieutenant wipes sweat from his brow. Dawson, can you make more? Sam looks at the shattered bunker, then at the 3 remaining bunkers still spitting fire deeper in the ridge. His throat is dry. His hands shake. Fear crawls up his spine like a cold weapon. But he nods anyway. Yeah, I'll make as many as you need. The lieutenant grips his shoulder. Then we'll get home thanks to you. Sam doesn't celebrate. He just sees tomorrow, and the enemies who will stop at nothing to kill him before he fires again. Because somewhere up ahead, beyond the smoke, beyond the shattered steel, is a mastermind bunker. A fortress designed by engineers who assumed Americans would never dare improvise. A bunker that has already killed men stronger than Sam Dawson. A bunker designed to defeat hope. And that is where he must go next. The jungle is never silent for long. As dust settles from the collapsed bunker, distant Japanese voices echo through the ravine. Shouts, whistles, commands. The enemy isn't panicking anymore. They're reorganizing. And Sam Dawson feels it. The shift. Improvisation once gave him surprise. Now it paints a target on his back. He tightens the straps of his pack. His hands tremble, not from fear alone, but from the knowledge that every decision he makes from here on will cost lives. Rodriguez crouches beside him. You started something. Sam, now you've got to finish it. Sam nods, even though the weight threatens to crush him. The ridge that doesn't want to be taken. Up ahead lies the hardest part of the ridge. The section the Japanese command believed was untouchable. 3 interconnected bunkers form a triangle of fire. If one is attacked, the others kill anyone who tries. Their design is genius in the most brutal way. A kill zone slopes down toward the Americans. No cover, no trees, just roots and rocks and blood-soaked dirt. Every approach ends in death. The lieutenant gathers the squad. We push now. No retreat. No turning back. He looks right into Sam's eyes when he says the next words. The only way through is you. Sam swallows a fear like bitter medicine. I'll give you a path. Scrap to survival. Sam crawls back to the scrap pile, his workshop of desperation. The launcher's barrel is cracked, the tape fraying. A lesser man would toss it aside. Sam reforces the clamp, removes the charred pieces, and builds a third version, stronger, angle for distance. A homemade weapon evolving faster than anything the army could issue. He salvages 6 grenades, the last decent ones they have. A number that means everything. Or nothing. Rodriguez loads ammo nearby, eyes darting nervously. You sure we're not going to blow ourselves up with that thing? Sam doesn't look up. If we don't try, the sniper kills us first. Rodriguez goes silent. The sniper. They move, low, fast, through thick ferns and exposed roots. The world shrinks the leaves, sweat, the hot reek of battle. Suddenly, crack! A bullet slices Sam's pack strap, nearly spinning him around. Rodriguez dives, drags Sam behind a tree. Is stalking you, he hisses. The Japanese sniper had found the threat, and he wouldn't stop until Sam Dawson stopped breathing. The sniper's vantage point is high above the bunkers. Rooftop control of the ridge. Sam grips the dirt. I'll handle the bunkers. You handle him. Rodriguez stays as if Sam just threw him into hell. Me? You want Emmy to take out a sniper. Sam places a hand on his shoulder. You've always had my back. Now let me have yours. For a moment, Rodriguez's fear cracks, and something else slips through. Belief. He nods, reloads, moves. The countdown of courage. Sam crawls forward, every inch a risk. He eyes the first bunker of the triad. Range, 120 yards. Angle, low. Solution, a flat arc shot. He lines up, breath steadies. Trigger squeezes. Thump. Grenade away. It slips right through the slit. Boom. A cheer erupts behind him. 5 grenades left. The second bunker reacts instantly. Machine guns erupting, a hurricane of bullets kicking up soil. Sam sprints behind a stump, chest burning, lungs on fire. 90 yards. Too close. Too exposed. He risks the shot anyway. Thump. This time the grenade hits the edge, bounces off, rolls back down the slope. It lands just feet from the squad. Rodriguez shouts, "Grenade! Move!" They dive. The explosion lifts dirt and bodies into the air. Sam gasps, ears ringing, voice lost. One Marine screams, shrapnel in his calf, bleeding fast. Sam slams a fist into the ground. That one misfire has consequences. Fear tightens around his heart. 4 grenades left. When move or die becomes move while dying. He crawls sideways, new angle, new hope. Rodriguez's firing bursts upward, snapping branches, trying to flush the sniper. The sniper fires back, 1 bullet punching into Rodriguez's thigh. Rodriguez grunts, presses a hand to the wound, keeps shooting anyway. Sam locks eyes with him for 1 heartbeat. Both know they are past the point of survival chances. They are in the part of war where men decide what they are worth. The bunker breakthrough. Sam steadies a launcher. Sweat stings his eyes. Hands stutter, then settle. Thump. The 3rd grenade arcs. Perfect. Into the 2nd bunker's slit. Boom. The roof burst open, flames licking the sky. 3 grenades left. The enemy who refuses to die. The 3rd bunker, the king of the ridge, awakens. It is enormous, built from steel and reinforced coral. A monster layer of machine guns and fanatics, and from it emerges something worse. A figure, a Japanese officer, sword in one hand, pistol in the other, charging downhill screaming fury. Behind him, 6 more soldiers, bayonets gleaming. Sam barely gets off a shot, hits one in the shoulder, but the others keep coming. Rodriguez turns his rifle, bleeds, grits teeth, fires again and again. Still they come. Sam's pulse becomes a drum of terror. He pulls a grenade from his belt, shoves it into the launcher, fires fast, too fast. Thump! KTOM. The grenade explodes at their feet. 3 enemy soldiers vanish into dirt and smoke. But the officer keeps sprinting through hell. Sam fumbles another grenade. Rodriguez drops a magazine, tries to reload, hands slick with blood. The officer leaps, blade raised, eyes burning with rage and devotion to death. Sam fires point blank. Thump, blam. The impact vaporizes the officer. Pieces of steel, fabric, bones spraying the air. Sam sits stunned, because he just stared death in the eyes. And didn't blink. 2 grenades left. The sniper's price. A rifle cracks. Again. Rodriguez jerks, shot clean through the shoulder. He collapses, sliding down the slope, blood smearing leaves. Sam's scream is raw rage. No! He climbs to Rodriguez, checks his pulse, still alive. Rodriguez grips Sam's shirt with trembling fingers. Finish it, or we all die anyway. Sam's heart tears, but he nods. Final bunker, the impossible target. He turns to the fortification looming above. 1 bunker left, the one engineered to reject everything thrown at it. Sam counts. 2 grenades, 2 chances, no backup. Range, 160 yards. Uphill, angle, steep, wind pushing right. He lines up a high arc shot. Thump! The grenade launches beautifully. Too beautifully. It soars right over the bunker. Detonates behind it, shaking the ridge but causing no damage. 1 grenade left. Sam's hands shake. His breath stutters. His vision narrows to a tunnel. He hears bullets. He hears screams. He hears his father's voice. There's no such thing as useless scrap. Sam whispers, just a tool waiting for purpose. He raises the launcher for the final time. This is everything. Every friend who fell. Every rule he broke. Every breath he might never get again. He fires. Thump! Time stretches. The grenade spinning like a star in slow motion. It drops, not into the slit, not onto the roof, but through the rear ventilation shaft. A perfect accident. A perfect shot. A perfect ending. K-A-O-M. The bunker becomes a volcano of stone and screaming steel. The ridge shakes as if the earth itself wants this war gone. Sam shields his eyes as fire erupts upward, smoke spiraling toward the sun. The gunfire stops. There is nothing left to shoot. Sam Dawson did not storm the ridge. He rewrote the rules that protected it. But now that he has shown the Japanese what one Marine can do with scrap and desperation, their retaliation will be merciless. And Sam still has a sniper to answer to. The flames choke the sky. Chunks of steel and coral rain down the slope. The final bunker, the one built to survive anything, is gone. What remains is silence. A silence earned through fire, blood, and stubborn genius. Sam doesn't celebrate. He doesn't even stand at first. He just stays at the smoke curling upward like the soul of a monster finally slain. Then Sam remembers. Rodriguez. He stumbles back to his friend's side, knees sinking into mud thick as glue. Rodriguez's eyes crack open. Barely. You did it, you crazy mechanic. Sam grips his shoulder, voice trembling. You're going home. I swear it. The corpsman who'd once said there was nothing more they could do for the wounded rushes in. He sees Rodriguez breathing and drags him back toward the rear lines. Hope now has a name, and its name is survival. The platoon advances. Marines move past Sam in a wave, rifles up, bayonet shining. No longer pinned down, no longer terrified of every step. They push deeper into the ridge, into positions that were supposed to be untouchable. One corporal pauses beside Sam, or replacing fear in his eyes. You gave us our legs back. He says it quietly, as though afraid the moment will vanish if spoken too loud. Sam just nods. His launcher, cracked and blackened, hangs across his back like a badge of defiance. He begins climbing after the others, slowly, every muscle screaming. They pass through the wreckage of the fortifications. Twisted metal, shattered gun barrels, helmets tossed aside like discarded masks. A testament to one thing. The rule is dead. The enemy's reaction. Up ahead, American artillery thunders, pounding retreating defenders. The ridge, once a wall, becomes a retreat route. Japanese officers radio commands. Frantic, clipped, afraid. They cannot understand what happened. Their bunkers were built to withstand mortars, flamethrowers, even tanks. But not a man with a pipe, and a promise to keep his brothers alive. Reports shoot up command chains. American soldier, strange weapon, bunker destroyed. Radio operators repeat the word innovator like an insult and a warning combined. The Japanese commanders learn a brutal truth. If Americans can build weapons on the battlefield, then no defense is safe. They issue a new directive. Prioritize elimination of improvised weapon operators. Sam Dawson just triggered a policy change, a doctrine shift, fear at the highest level, the cost of breaking rules. Innovation attracts bullets. Innovation always demands a price. The sniper, the one who nearly ended Sam twice, hasn't fired since the bunker fell. But he isn't gone. Sam feels eyes on him. A predator's gaze. One unfinished enemy remains in these trees. Rodriguez had paid for Sam's wrist with blood. Others nearly died from a grenade that bounced wrong. The guilt hangs sharper than shrapnel. Was it worth it? Then he sees a flag. Americans planting it on the crest, the top of the ridge, a place soaked in the sacrifice of men who didn't live to see the view. Sam swallows hard. Yes, it was worth everything. The commanding officer's revelation. The battalion commander arrives, dust and sweat masking the pride in his eyes. He pulls Sam aside. Dawson, what you did today, that's not taught. That comes from the kind of mind that wins wars. Sam looks down at the twisted launcher. I just welded some scraps together, so... The officer shakes his head. No, you gave us a weapon we didn't even know we needed. He hands Sam a sealed note, stamped with urgent orders. Command wants to see you. Now. Sam's pulse quickens. He never meant to start something bigger than survival. But now he has. The birth of a new weapon. Engineers inspect Sam's launcher, touch the dents, trace the welds, study the angles. They scribble notes, measure fragments, sketch diagrams. These airflow changes. They give the grenade more stability mid-arc. And the firing clamp. This is genius for field attachment. The engineers exchange looks that say, we can mass-produce this. War evolves faster than rules can catch it. General officers step in. We need these launchers, immediately. They have a name instantly. The Dawson device. Unofficially at first. A whispered term among the men. But a weapon with a story behind it always spreads faster than a prototype. And this story is wildfire. What they didn't know. Sam Dawson wasn't the first man with ingenuity, but he was the one who got caught and rewarded by history's timing. Because across the Pacific, Marines and soldiers were encountering the same problem. Deep bunkers, concrete caves, fortifications too strong for standard kit. Sam's invention gave them a weapon the manuals didn't even imagine. He thinks he saved one unit, one ridge, one moment. But the truth is, he opened a door to a new mindset. If the army can't issue the tool we need, we build the tool ourselves. Improvised grenade launchers begin appearing in other units, in other battles, in other desperate hands. Sam doesn't know it yet, but his creation will explode in more places than he ever sees, and save more men than he ever meets. The ridge is taken. The bunkers are gone. The enemy's doctrine has shattered. But Sam Dawson's war isn't over, because the sniper who marked him for death is still breathing, still hunting, still watching, and he knows exactly who Sam Dawson is now. The ridge is quiet now, too quiet. Smoke drifts up into a blue sky that feels all wrong for a place built on death. Sam Dawson stands among the shattered remains of his own courage, a pipe strapped to a rifle, a symbol of disobedience that saved an entire platoon. Rodriguez is gone from his side, taken by medics, fighting a battle inside his own body. Sam feels exposed, unprotected, lucky, and then a single shot cracks through the calm. Crack! A bullet smashes into a rock inches from his knee. The sniper, the last enemy that knows what Sam is capable of. Sam rolls behind cover, pulse roaring in his ears. The sniper reloads, calm, patient, waiting for the man who ruined the ridge to poke his head up again. Sam steadies his breath, grabs a fallen rifle from the Japanese make, bolt action. He doesn't hesitate. He rises for a fraction of a heartbeat, less time than a man needs to blink. He sees a glint. Half a silhouette. Just enough. Sam fires. Bang! For a moment, nothing. Then, a body falls from the trees above. A rifle tumbles beside it. Branches snap under the weight of a life ending. Sam lowers the borrowed weapon. Exhales. The last threat is gone. The ridge truly belongs to them. The war goes on. Sam doesn't get a hero's march. He doesn't get medals pinned on him in the moment. He gets orders. More hills. More heat. More nights wondering if he will see sunrise. But word spreads. Men nod at him in passing. They ask questions. They want to learn. What did you use? How did you attach it? Can you help us build one? Soon, Sam Dawson becomes something even the Army hadn't planned for. A teacher, a replicator of survival. Field armorists bring him scrap. Officers ask for diagrams. Requests travel up the chain. And every new launcher that fires carries a piece of Sam's stubborn belief. There's always another way. After the fighting, when the war ends, Sam returns home. A quiet American town. Streets he once walked like they were too small for his dreams. He works again with tools. But now, he builds tractors, not weapons. He doesn't brag. He doesn't tell kids in the neighborhood that he once changed the battlefield. Most who know him think he's just a mechanic fixing engines. Only a few know he once fixed the course of a mission, with a pipe, a clamp, and a refusal to let men die. Rodriguez? He recovers, slowly, painfully. Years later, he'd visit Sam at his garage. They would sit quietly on milk crates, and drink sodas, and never once speak about the ridge. Some memories don't need words. Some victories live better in silence. What remains? Military historians would later catalog improvised launches. Weapons far from regulation, but close to the hearts of the men who needed them. A few dusty reports reference one Marine's ingenuity, one name buried in operational notes. Private Sam Dawson, improvised launcher destroyed multiple fortifications. Recommend recognition. That recognition never came. Not officially, but legacy isn't only awards. Legacy is the lives that kept breathing, and the men who never forgot whose courage gave them one more dawn. Why this story matters. Most military histories remember the big machines. Battleships, tanks, bombers, commanders. But victory often belongs to the ones who refuse to follow rules that are failing them. The men in the mud, with nothing left to lose, who look at scrap and see a chance. War isn't always won by the strongest. Sometimes, it's won by the man who refuses to give up, even when he's told that everything he has isn't enough. Sam Dawson proved a truth that echoes through every generation of soldiers. Innovation is just courage wearing grease and date. If Sam Dawson's story moved you, if it reminded you that ordinary men can carry extraordinary bravery, please hit that like button right now. Every click tells YouTube that this history is worth remembering. We are dedicated to rescuing stories like this from the shadows of forgotten archives. If you want to join us on that mission, subscribe, turn on notifications, comment below, tell us where you're watching from, and if someone in your family served, share their name. We would be honored to remember them with you. Thank you for ensuring that Sam Dawson and the men who depended on his invention do not disappear into silence. They deserve to be remembered, and because of you, they will be.